Live from WTVO Rockford and your home team. Eyewitness News at 5 starts now.
A sad update tonight to the Highland Park parade shooting after a seventh person has died.
Plus a warning after a Rockford man is charged with making fake 911 calls. We look at the consequences of these hoaxes.
And a state line lagoon's now open for business, and it's bringing back a popular activity to enjoy this summer. Good evening, I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Eric Wilson. Another day of dangerously high temperatures. Most of the area is under a heat advisory. Factor in the humidity, and like Candace just showed us, it feels close to 110 degrees.
Let's head back over to Candace. After this heat, we're going to get more storms.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've got another round of likely severe weather here through the evening and into the early overnight. You know, that heat, humidity, and thunderstorm chance almost come hand in hand really this time of year. And we'll see exactly that here as we go through this evening. But again, let's first touch upon that heat because it has been dangerously hot as that heat index factor has made it up to 110, 115 degrees in some spots like in Freeport right now. 111 is what it feels like in Rockford, the actual air temperature at 96. So it is not comfortable out there. And with that building heat, we have no lid on our atmosphere, and this has allowed some thunderstorms to kind of quickly develop over the last couple of hours. We have had a lake breeze push inland from Lake Michigan because if you stepped outside, you know, the wind is not overly strong, and in fact at times it's been calm, which has just allowed all that moisture to just kind of settle and sit and stay fairly stagnant. So we've had some thunderstorms form along that from parts of McHenry County, those kind of diving off to the southeast. Also watching that lake breeze interacting with a cold front up to the north across Wisconsin. We've had thunderstorms really blossom over the last several hours west and southwest of Janesville. A lot of lightning with this. In fact, some of those thunderstorms moving through Rock County right now could produce penny-sized hail and even 40-mile-per-hour wind gusts. I would not be surprised here if somewhat soon we actually start to see the intensity of these thunderstorms grow and could see a couple severe thunderstorm warnings. Then we turn our sights out to the thunderstorms off to the west, moving across the Dakotas. That could impact us here after about 9-10 o'clock this evening. So putting this all together, I expect storm coverage to increase between that 7-8 o'clock hour. Watching those thunderstorms really pick up, heavy rainfall, wind guys, and hail really going to be our primary concern. We also have to be concerned with flooding in areas that picked up the significant rainfall from last night's thunderstorm. So I'll have more on that coming up and a little return to cooler pattern later this week.
Sounds like quite a bit to worry about in a short period of time. We'll check in with you in just a little bit, Candace.
The man Rockford Park District Police say made fake calls to 911 is not in custody.
According to investigators, he called at least 3 times trying to record officers' response to post on social media. Nikel Delgado talked to the Winnebago County State's Attorney. Nikel, he tells you phony 911 calls are a felony.
That's right, Eric and Mimi. False complaints, false 911 calls, or even swatting is a Class 4 felony, which could land someone in jail for 3 years if convicted.
It just puts everyone in danger. It puts people in danger who have a real reason to need emergency services.
On Saturday, Rockford Park District Police say 21-year-old Javon Reynolds called in seeing drug deals at local parks, but they claimed it was just him intentionally making fake calls to get officers' response so he could post their reactions online. Winnebago County State's Attorney Jay Hanley says calling 911 when there isn't an emergency is dangerous.
They're at an information deficit, right? They think there's an actual emergency, they think someone needs help, or they're going to investigate a crime, and it's really all a sham set up by the person who called 911.
Hanley says local law enforcement has limited resources, especially on a holiday weekend.
The message from our office is that there are consequences and that we will investigate, and if appropriate, we'll charge you. And that can have real serious consequences, whether you're an adult or a child.
And he goes on to say calling in fake scenarios means people who really need first responders may not get what they need.
Think about the community. You know, when you make a call, it's not just about the police showing up for your false alarm. It's that they're not able to show up to other real emergencies.
Hanley warns any copycats who think this is cool to do, remember the consequences of this and how you can be charged with a felony that will stay on your record. Mimi?
All right, thanks, Nikel. The building a doctor wants to become an abortion clinic in Rockford won't be opening anytime soon. A condemns sign is on the door. City administrators say they've not received any details about plans for the building on Auburn Street. A city spokesperson said the sign was related to typical permits required for upgrades. Dr. Dennis Christensen purchased the building last month. He told us last week he plans on prescribing abortion medications and eventually wants to offer surgical options. Christensen operated an abortion clinic on Broadway until it closed in 2012.
A mob attacks an Illinois state trooper in Chicago. Dash cam video records the whole thing. ISP says the trooper noticed congestion on the I-90 exit ramp near Division Street Sunday and came across this. Several vehicles were blocking the roads and people were driving recklessly. According to ISP, about 100 people swarmed the squad car, jumped on the hood, broke the windshield, as well as threw rocks, bricks, and fireworks. Investigators are trying to track down who's responsible. The death count climbs after the attack yesterday at Highland Park's 4th of July parade. Investigators say the person responsible planned the attack for weeks.
ABC's Morgan Norwood shows us they're talking with witnesses, reviewing surveillance video, and pouring through the suspect's social media.
Officials say the suspected gunman at the center of the deadly rampage at a July 4th celebration in Highland Park, Illinois, had been planning this attack for weeks.
He brought a high-powered rifle to this parade. He accessed the roof of a business via a fire escape ladder and began opening fire on the innocent Independence Day celebration goers.
Though Robert Cremo III has not yet been charged, investigators making clear he's the one they believe is responsible for this deadly mass shooting. According to multiple law enforcement sources, Cremo is cooperating with authorities and has made statements taking responsibility for the attack. Police say he purchased at least 5 firearms, including that AR-15 style high-powered rifle, legally in Illinois. They allege he fired more than 70 rounds into the crowd.
During the attack, Cremo was dressed in women's clothing, and investigators do believe he did this to conceal his facial tattoos and his identity and help him during the escape.
When the rampage was over, authorities say he dumped the rifle, got down from the roof, and walked among the same people he had just been shooting at.
He walked to his mother's home, who lived in the area, and he blended right in with everybody else as they were running around, almost as he was an innocent spectator as well.
Right now, authorities are still working to piece together a motive and a timeline, reviewing surveillance video of the attack. This doctor, who happened to be at the scene, jumping in to help save lives.
I started a couple IVs. We helped move people to a staging area. I didn't do anything heroic. I did what anyone who has who has medical training would try to do.
In all, 7 people were killed and more than 30 taken to the hospital. Officials say they found a second rifle in the suspect's car. This afternoon, a community left reeling, planning a series of vigils. Loved ones of the victims now planning funerals.
And the question is this: had enough, America? I sure hope so. If you've had enough, elect people who feel as we do. We need more gun safety.
That was Morgan Norwood reporting. President Biden has ordered flags at half-staff in honor of the victims of the shooting. Biden saying today he's unsure if he'll travel to Highland Park.
Firefighters blame fireworks for an early morning fire in Freeport. Crews were called to West Dexter Street, just east of South Galena, around 12:45. When they got there, they found smoke coming from the roof of a house. Firefighters put the flames out. Everyone inside got out safely. Damage to the homes estimated at about $5,000. They say careless use of fireworks started that fire. With a temperature this hot, it's important to find ways to cool down.
Due to popular demand from the community, Beloit's Riverside Park is reopening its lagoon and its equipment rentals. Starting today, paddle boats and kayaks will be available to rent Monday through Friday from noon to 4. It's one of the most popular amenities in the summer at the park. This is the first time in 2 years rentals are available due to COVID and staffing issues. Workers are stepping up to fill the demand to make it possible.
Anytime that we open up any of our recreation programs or expand them, especially after the last 2 years, it's just great to see people enjoying that. You know, we have a beautiful community and we have a lot of amenities, and it's amazing to see the families enjoying that.
The concession stand is also open, offering ice cream and other snacks. A Rockford playground is getting a makeover, and you can help decide what to do with it.
The Rockford Park District has about $165,000 for renovations at Oxford Park. That's the park on Oxford and Fulton Avenue near the Rockford Country Club. Has a playground and swing set now. Park District has set up a website to allow the community to give input. You can find a link to that at mystateline.com. You have until July 18th. Work on the playgrounds expected to be complete by next summer.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from Chief Meteorologist Candace King.
Well, we've had a lot of heat and humidity for much of this afternoon. Temperatures today climbing into the low 90s. Heat index up well over 110 in many locations. Now we're dealing with some thunderstorms, mostly to the north of us in Wisconsin. We take you up to Beloit with our SkyTrack camera brought to us by Bright Motors here. You've got a thunderstorm just to the north and northwest of you, right around the Janesville area. A lot of lightning with that thunderstorm, feeding off of the heat, the instability that we have as temperatures are in the 90s. 96 in Rockford feels like 111, 93 in Freeport, that heat index of 113. Cooling off a little in Janesville down to 82, still a bit of a heat index though, with that heat index temperature sitting at 102. These thunderstorms have formed along a couple of boundaries that we have left over, not only from yesterday's thunderstorms, but we have a lake breeze coming in off of Lake Michigan, impacting parts of southern Wisconsin, but there's also a cold front draped up to the north. None of these thunderstorms have turned severe, but they've really grown over the last several hours, feeding off of that heat, that instability, that moisture. So right now, the storm just west and southwest of Janesville, a lot of lightning with this. Again, a lot of heavy rainfall coming in. Could be some gusty winds, maybe 40 to 45 miles per hour, and even some pea to penny-sized hail with that storm as it moves through Rock County. Notice where these storms are firing up though, right along that boundary, arcing back across southwest Wisconsin and into northern Iowa. These really kind of staying to the north, working a little more to the southeast here this evening, but eventually we are going to see those thunderstorms kind of spread a little more to the south over the next several hours. We're also watching a thunderstorm complex, a strong thunderstorm complex, moving out of South Dakota into northwest Iowa. Numerous severe thunderstorm warnings associated with that. You've got thunderstorms feeding into that along that front and even out ahead. This could become a player for us after about 9-10 o'clock tonight, and that would pose a wind threat outside of some of the thunderstorms that we have moving through right now. Heavy rainfall, wind, and hail with any of the thunderstorms through about 8-9 o'clock tonight going to be the biggest threat. And notice as we go through that time frame, we see that thunderstorm coverage increase. Here then comes that complex off to the west. Should it hold together, could interact with some of those boundaries here, so we'll have to watch that as we get closer to about 11-12 o'clock tonight, so we hang on to that severe threat through at least midnight, if not early morning tomorrow, before we start to dry things out tomorrow morning. Cold front passing off to the southwest of us. Futurecast keeps us dry, but I do think we'll hang on to some showers and some thunderstorms again towards the afternoon and evening, and then we kind of repeat that again going into Thursday. A little bit of a break in some of the excessive heat temperatures tomorrow, and Thursday will drop down into the 80s, but Thursday I do think it's a little more on the muggier side. Now, I don't want you to take these specific numbers to heart and say this is exactly what we are going to see in this one location, but it gives us an idea of what I'm talking about with that heavy rain. Anywhere from 1 to 3, maybe up to 3.5 inches of rainfall possible, and in areas that received the heavy rainfall yesterday, Winnebago, Boone, McHenry County, you do have a flood watch in effect. So some excessive rainfall coming in along with that severe threat. No, that'll increase, guys, over these next several hours. 83 for tomorrow, 85 on Thursday. Can't wait till we get to Friday night and Saturday night. We actually could have lows that drop down into the 50s.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
The White Sox are 5.5 games behind the first-place Twins. They don't want that number to grow tonight when they meet up again at Guaranteed Rate Field. The Sox lost last night in 10 innings, 6-3. It was there for the taking, but the Sox let it slip through their fingers. It was a game that saw them run themselves into a triple play. Antonio La Russa got tossed in the 10th inning for arguing with a home plate umpire.
We were on the strike zone all day. See, we earned some calls, Bundy had good command, and you get those calls, and just so think he had a good day. That happens sometimes. You got to find a way to win the game anyway. We didn't.
The Cubs will play in Milwaukee again tonight. They'll also be trying to bounce back from an extra inning loss yesterday to the Brewers. Former Cub Victor Caratini lifted the Brewers to the 5-2 win with his 3-run homer in the 10th inning. Kyle Hendricks and Jason Alexander will be the starting pitchers tonight. Well, are you frustrated with how long Major League Baseball games have gotten in recent years? How would you feel about a pitch clock? They have one in Beloit with the Sky Car. The entire high Class A Midwest League is using it, and Major League Baseball is monitoring its effectiveness. So how well is it working, and what do the Sky Car players think of it? I'll have that story right here tonight at 9 and 10. Dixon native Isaiah Roby is joining his third NBA team of his career. He's been claimed off waivers by the San Antonio Spurs. Roby was waived by the Oklahoma City Thunder this past Sunday. He averaged just over 10 points per game for them last season. He played in 45 games and he started 28 of those. Roby was drafted by the Mavericks 3 years ago, but he never played for them. NIU's Athletics Hall of Fame class for this year includes current head football coach Thomas Hammock. He'll go in based on his achievements as a running back for the Huskies from 1999 through 2002. He had a pair of 1,000-yard seasons. Former quarterback Chandler Harnish and former running back Chad Spann are also part of the Hall of Fame class. The induction ceremony will be held homecoming weekend, October 7th.
New severe thunderstorm warning coming out for Rock County. You can follow all the active weather here for us tonight on the First Warn Interactive Radar. There is that warning that goes until 6 o'clock here this evening. 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail, likely along with some very heavy rainfall. That storm is only moving to the southeast at about 15 miles per hour. Guys, we'll see these storms increase here tonight.
All right, thanks, Candace.
And thank you for spending some time with us. Stay safe.